right. Good morning. It's Monday Madness. Biggest question is, how much has Donald Trump's mind left the fucking planet? How's that sound? Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Monday Madness on the Revolution in the Morning show. Lots of news, lots of information that is getting kicked out here today. Woo, daddy! So stand on by. Yeah, how do you play? How do you win? Pollock War. That's right, Pollock War. Donald Trump is waging in the Middle East. Really, hey, it won't surprise me. Donald Trump gets some cavalry and sends them against tanks next. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. This Polish tactics that I blockade you before you can blockade me. Meanwhile, the world is rushing to America to get some fuel, some oil, some gas, some all kinds of shit. Saudi Arabia says, oh, fuck, we're getting cut out. We're getting cut out. Please, please. Oh, it really is madness. We got about 60 seconds till we get into Reb Radio Live. So stand on by because, well, let's just say, they have lost their ever-loving fucking mind, okay? Really, these retardation nation is being fulfilled today, by Donald J. Trump. As I said, Donald J. Trump, I believe he's sick, for some reason. So yeah, where else? Anyway, I better check Reb Radio because I'm talking right past Revolution Radio. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Monday Madness coming at you live from Franklin County, Virginia. And I'm your host, Mitchell Bupp. Trump administration is, let's just say, is having a blockade for a blockade to prevent a blockade. Really? You've got to be fucking kidding me, okay? Meanwhile, as Donald Trump has said, look, there will be 0 ships going into Iran. We're going to blockade Iran and cut it off from the world. That means at the same time, they're going to cut off, they could cut off the Hormuz Straits. However, Donald Trump says, oh, no. We're going to let the people that we like pass through the Hormuz Strait, and no Iranians or no China, nobody along those lines is going to stop them. Oh, yeah. Well, let me see. Okay. This is going to strip out very, very badly, okay? It's basically Donald Trump's trying to do a 180 flip on the idea. Iran said, well, yeah, we're going to charge a fee to transit the Gulf. Well, it's their sovereign waterway, isn't it? At least 50% of the Gulf is Iranian. You may not like that. I may not like that, but it's Iranian territory. You know, the Hormuz Straits is not the Gulf of Mexico, aka the Gulf of whatever the fuck you want to call it, okay? But the truth is that it is that it is not an international waterway as everybody would like to believe. In fact, it was no different than Russian trawlers just going up the Mississippi River would probably be a good parallel to what we're talking about. Anyway, or how about Russians coming down and going across around the Great Lakes, or that? Okay. Anyway, so Donald Trump, J.D. Vance said, no, there's no deal. Sticking points is we're going to keep our uranium, and we're going to keep enriching uranium. That was one of the demands that Iran had, and which was a no-go period stop, full stop. Also, these wars are all connected. That's what Iran says. Look, Hezbollah is our friends. These other people are our friends that you're bombing and murdering, and you're bombing us because we supply them. Anyway, so the dead end peace negotiations. It's not surprised, as the Iranians said. Well, how can we have peace when Israel has already said we're preparing to strike again? Just look, it's just waiting for an excuse. That's all Israel is doing. All right. Oh, don't be so crunchy down there, that little bone. Please, baby dog. God bless him. Anyway, limited strikes on Iran, I don't think that's going to work real well. Okay. Lots of stuff coming on right now, as Israel is continuing to bomb and invade into Lebanon, basically, angling to strike at Turkey next, because Turkey is the largest, how should we say it, Muslim nation who is not bought and sold like a fucking whore on a street corner for a few shekels, like the Wahhabists, The Wahhabists are, man, let's just say they're the businessmen, the kings of the businessmen of the not so peaceful religion. Okay. So Trump is weighing limited strikes on Iran. CENTCOM confirms the blockage is to begin at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday morning, and will only impact Iran-related vessels. Okay? President Trump begins blockading the Straits of Hormuz and warns the U.S. military will finish up the little what's left of Iran. Now, word has gotten out this morning that Chinese aircraft, one of the massive cargo transport crafts, are landing in Tehran, okay, with weapons. All right. China probably says, well, we'll just send some of our advanced ship killer missiles, and then that's what we'll do. And we'll number one, it'll give us a test. Can we hit the ships? Can we hit the Navy ships? Can we hit an aircraft carrier? Because, well, that's the truth that nobody wants to say. Sitting on the down alongside of Yemen, there is a Chinese intelligence vessel that has been circling the area, literally collecting data and sweeping the entire zone. We have to remember that the United States is not the only country in the world. A lot of private organizations have eyes in the sky. So that part of that is up, okay? Donald Trump says the door to diplomacy remains open, but there really is no diplomacy. It's no different than Ukraine, in all honesty, okay? In Ukraine, the United States, Germany, NATO, France, Great Britain all lied through their fucking teeth about what? About the Minsk I and Minsk II agreements, okay? Period. End of story. Trump has now publicly come out and said, look, this is about cutting China off from the oil. There's actually, has been made multiple times in multiple different ways. However, as I have said before, there are consequences behind the scenes, okay, where the Chinese are looking at this as an existential threat. Now, as the U.S. blockades a lot of the oil and everything in the Middle East, it does turn out, if you go and you search for tankers on the oceans and where they're headed, you'll see that it's a big lineup of everybody's headed to the USA to pump our ass dry while the price is high. Okay? And, we're going to feed the world with oil. We've been feeding Europe with natural gas and oil since Ukraine started. Okay? This has been a complete bust for the U.S. Consumer, where, we're essentially paying for these wars and these elevated energy prices. Never mind this fact that these retarded liberals and their green commode idea stuff, I mean, green cars, green everything, while we literally strip the mountains down to the bases to find the lithium. Not to mention use small children in Africa and every place else to fucking do it. Yeah, the inhumanity of it all, I'm telling you. So what else? Let's see. Two super tankers made a U-turn after the peace deal talks failed. United Arab Emirate oil chief says Iran's blocking the Hormuz Strait is a direct threat to energy, food, and security and health security of every nation. The odds of a peace deal by the end of the ceasefire period is improved modestly, but remains significantly down. What do you mean? The United States has essentially demanded that Iran surrender. Okay? Period. End of story. Unconditional surrender. Turn over all your oil. We're going to rape your children. I mean, we're going to send Israelis. When the truth is, the real problems are, Muslims and Israelis. Okay? And all of the people that in this time of Easter and Christ and all this that put Israel up on a pedestal, quit worshiping false fucking gods, okay? Quit worshiping demons and satanic motherfuckers of the Khazarian scumbags, okay? Quit doing that. That's not a good thing to do, all right? Here in Virginia, I'll probably say this multiple times today. Here in Virginia, where the new Democrat deep blue government wants to gerrymander the state, if you vote yes, you listen, on April 21st in Virginia will be an IQ test for the people of Virginia. If you vote yes, I am a retard, or you can vote no, I am not. All right? That's the whole bottom line. Yes, I am a retard on April 21st. If you vote yes for Democrat gerrymandering in Virginia, it's almost as if this is another one of those COVID benchmark tests where they're trying to determine exactly how many brainwashed motherfuckers they have, what the political landscape looks like, and how we have to manipulate it to stay in the power. All right. There should be a recall or an impeachment of the governor, CIA Governor Spamberger. Just for the simple truth that our politicians should not be bold-faced fucking liars. And if they lie to the people during their campaigns, they should be impeached immediately. When the circumstances become clear and relevant that it was all just talk and it was a big fat lie to deceive the people. Yeah, I mean, that is, listen, political campaign fraud on their messages. I mean, let's be honest, that's that's something that's going on every day, isn't it? I mean, look at Donald Trump. Ever since Donald Trump got sucked into Israel and Gaza and the whole Israeli genocide of the entire Middle East, and if you don't think Israel is genocidal, well, I feel bad for you. I do. You have to understand that, there are definitely psychological concepts where people that get aggrieved against, whether it's them or their whole people or whatever, they develop such a psychosis that they go to the point where they commit the genocide that their fathers were caught up in, and their mothers were caught up in. They recreate that and force it onto somebody else. In other words, the genocided, after years of grief and trying to stand up for themselves, can and will become genocidal themselves, particularly if your religion tells you are superior to everybody else, okay? That is Judaism. That's why, I have said, whether it's Muslims and Arabs in the Middle East, or Jews in the Middle East, it's the uncivilized Middle East where civilization may have been founded. But they have been fighting their own and same demons ever since the birth of their aborted fantasies of reality. Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that, but that's exactly the truth. So, U.S. Iran, the talks ended. There have been other discussions that should be a much greater concern to the dumbasses in the War Department. China and Pakistan have both now formally offered Iran a nuclear umbrella. Should Israel or any other nation attack Tehran or Iran with nuclear weapons, and I would imagine that also would include a tactical nuclear weapon on their nuclear facilities, which could have already been used, in my opinion, because of the micro nukes that Israel possesses. That China and Pakistan, okay, have stood there and have now said that we will have a nuclear umbrella. We will cover Iran should it be attacked by nuclear weapons. We will attack with nuclear weapons back to those that had attacked Iran. Remember I said last week that that's bound to happen. Okay? That's bound to happen. And as I said this morning, there were one or several massive Chinese Air Force cargo planes landing in Tehran. So China is not going to be deterred. And also, if you're not aware now, we have to watch and see the extent of the what would you call that? The escorting of Russian tankers by their navy. Evidently, going through the North Sea and going through the English Channel. Until I guess they clear well into the Atlantic, the Russians are now sending escort vessels. So the Russians are not literally caught. Their tankers are not pirated, because listen, for any country to really exist, they do need a tanker fleet or access to a tanker fleet for oil and petroleum and everything else today. It's just a truism into the world economy today. Iran says it won't allow the U.S. to block the Hormuz Strait, but I don't know what's going to happen. They got all these miniature Shayarade drones now. The U.S. military is now deploying lasers and energy pulse weapons as defense against drones. In fact, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, has approved a anti-drone system. I believe it's a kind of a microwave pulse system to shut down drones. I don't know how that stuff really works around a lot of aircraft that are inbound and outbound stuff. So yeah. Meanwhile, in the hood in America, this is not going to end well, man. Anyway, residents of Atlanta, Georgia are they are pissed, man. That's right. They were going outside in their apartment complex, and they found a new sentry. They found. This is seriously fucked up, man. And wait till you hear this shit. Wait till you hear this, man. I am serious. I can't even tell you this. Listen.
Not they got the motherfucking robot dog in the motherfucking hood patrolling the apartment. What the fuck type of AI shit it is? What the fuck? He look like he finna bite your ass.
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, baby, they what?
How are you?
Where are you at?
I'm good. This a person only.
So, what y'all got this robot dog in here for?
To watch the people so they don't take. So.
Oh, sorry. So we're actually like the robotic security dog here.
So, what y'all got to tell us? Huh?
Everything is being monitored and recorded.
Hi.
Hi.
A robot security dog, and the fucking listen to this, the motherfuckers that are running it are in India. I'm telling you, these motherfucking things are gonna end up in dumpsters and everywhere else. It'll be fucking hilarious. It really will be. So yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Really, people? So, yeah. Yeah, you never know, man. And I would be willing to bet that this is some kind of a government fucking contract through HUD or someplace like this to have a security dog, you know, a robot, a security dog. Doesn't that make you feel so much safer? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is the matter with people, right? I mean, really. Man, there was a guy that was on trial and was convicted. I'm sure he was convicted. Of raping and killing a little 7-year-old white girl. He's black. A fucking delivery driver. Okay. See, I mean, that's a waste of fucking court space. I mean, this is how these retarded motherfuckers are. Okay, this guy snatched this little girl from the fucking neighborhood. And then he had pictures of her, video of her in the fucking truck as he's driving down the road because they have inboard cameras. And when he went to kill her and stuff, he put his fucking hat over the fucking over the camera to block it. But all the video was there of him, what he did to that. Like I said, you know, look, the motherfucker has no. That motherfucker has forfeited the right to breathe another fucking breath, as far as my concern is. Okay. That's, you know, all of these motherfuckers that are just stabbing and killing people out of the blue, they don't even know. Like the little blonde girl in Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, what the fuck? Those motherfuckers are predators that will probably mate with some dumb bitch somewhere along the way. And, you know, spread that demon seed of hell, I guess. Well, here it comes. The shockwave from Donald Trump's or Israel's war in the Middle East, okay, and continuing war in the Middle East as Israel says, oh, yeah, don't worry, we're just getting started. We got to have greater Israel. God, could somebody just nuke them fuckers and we can get peace on earth started or some shit? Man, day. Anyway, so U.S. intelligence now shows China's taking a more active role in the Iran war. Mostly because they should now understand that this is a strategy pointed directly at China. This petro gun, so to speak, of shutting down Iran and controlling that oil that would be sent to China. The U.S. has been working on clearing out the Hormuz Straits, as sent in frigates to look for mines. So yeah. Anyway, Anthropic, the whatchamacallit, the AI company, right, is asked religious leaders for guidance on building a moral chatbot. What guidance do you need? I mean, there should be just, tell the truth. The blatant, honest, unvarnished truth. That's the first thing that AI should be fucking doing. It shouldn't be used as some kind of brainwashing machine so people will believe whatever they believe because they've seen it on the internet. Or AI said so. Meanwhile, in India, the company of India, they got all these motherfuckers in a big ass factory wearing a headset that looks at their hands as they're sewing and they're putting garments and stuff together. What are they doing? They're AI training machines is what these 1,000 people in this sewing factory were doing. They were training, essentially AI training bots to come in to replace them. I wonder if they even know it. And if they knew it, would they allow it? And don't forget that, what do they need? They need data centers to literally to do shit like that. But, one electromagnetic pulse, it all goes black. And so, yeah. And I don't know how hardened those robots might be. So, yeah. Anyway, what else we got going down here? God, the IMF, the International Mafia Fund, warns Iran war will slow global growth. Oh yeah, wait do you hear about the coming spikes in prices? Aluminum is getting ready to spike. Copper is getting ready to spike. Okay. Don't expect gas prices to come down a whole hell of a lot. Just because Donald Trump says I'm blockading them to blockade the Hormuz Straits. Yeah. Also remember that any action past 90 days requires an authorization of war by Congress, okay? How far will Donald Trump push that? I don't know. Hard telling. Okay. Politics, let's see. Viktor Orban in Hungary has lost his election. He was in power for, I think, 16 years. And the European Union has finally pushed him out, and now has essentially bought and paid for George Soros' coalition that has taken over the country of Italy, or excuse me, wrong country, Mitch, dumbass. I was thinking of something else as I was looking at this other story over Hungary. Okay, that will leave only one or two nations in the European Union that actually have any kind of independence from Brussels. Okay. Well, if you guys did you go fishing? Did you like fishing? Here's a I was trying to find a good picture of this, but yeah. A guy in North Carolina decided to take his kayak, and go out fishing right off the coast. And next thing you know, he hooked onto a whopper. Yeah. So yeah. He was on a jet ski. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Frisco, North Carolina. The Atlantic Ocean, rough conditions to the Outer Banks on Easter Sunday, but this guy said, I'm going fishing. Listen, he was by himself, no other fisher, no other boats in sight. Thought he would be catching smaller fish, but then a beast, a 200 and what was it? A 220 pound tuna snatched up his lure, and he's trying to, drug him to several 7 miles, I think, offshore. Some other boat saw him. Anyway, yeah, so one of his friends he was on the cell phone with said, "Oh my God." Yeah. So this guy is reeling in this tuna on his, trying to control it on his, on his wave runner. That's a hell of a thing, man. I am telling you, good for him. Glad he didn't get hurt. Texas to face $700 million in federal penalties. That's right. After you hear about all the fraud, you find out that Texas, for SNAP, for food stamp errors through 2027. Now, wait a minute here. If you know it's an error, why are you still paying the fucking money out, Texas, or whoever? Texas expected to pay $708 million in 2027 in federal government penalties for erroneous distributions from the food stamp program. Sounds like Minnesota all over, doesn't it? Under the One Big Beautiful Bill, will need to share additional food stamp program cost to $708 million, 10% of the state's total program benefits, based on its error rate. Wow. You got an error rate of 10%, and you're dealing with billions of dollars. That's unacceptable. That's wholly unacceptable in today's digital world. It is. It's wholly unacceptable. Okay. I'm just saying, there's no way that that we should have such a high rate of fraud in all of these social benefit programs. Okay, I don't give it's a hospice, home care, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare. I mean, listen. If you take the fraud out of these fucking states that these people have stolen from these government programs, if you take it out of the state will say, well, we're in a depression now. The only prosperity in entire communities in Minnesota are based on complete fraud. And it's like that in places in Ohio, in Maine, in New York, okay, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, in Seattle, in Portland. All of these major major Democrat city hubs have essentially become centers of complete fraud. and they have no prosperity except for the theft of government monies. And there are many people that are speculating today and say, look, we're $40 trillion in debt. If we extrapolate the fraud and the fraud losses, we can literally trace back to the $40 trillion that is supposedly owed by the taxpayers of the United States is all because of fraud. One of the guys in charge of a $11 million food feed the family food program, the leader guy, the head guy, he didn't surrender his passport. He gave a little bit of a bond. And where'd he go? He went to fucking Somalia. You know, as far as I'm concerned, he should be dead within a week. Any of these fucking crooks that have stolen millions of dollars from the United States of America and the taxpayers, I mean, we should put bounties on their fucking heads, dead or alive. We don't fucking care. In fact, it's the old adage, dead is better, because there's, nobody's going to argue. But these people have pretty much been found guilty as hell. God, Jesus, God bless. What the fuck is wrong with people? I mean, yeah. Yeah, I got a story, and then I got a response to the story. That's right, a response. In Canada, that's right, in Canada. There is, how should I say it? Where in the hell is it? Ah, there it is. I wondered where it was. Okay. We got to open this page up because we got one page, and then we have a response. Okay. Well, there it is. If you can say it, well, you've got a more flexible tongue than I will ever have. Let me give this a ride, okay? Let me give it a chance because I really don't know if I can say it. That's right. What is, MMI, WG, 2SLGB, TQQ, IA plus. Oh my. Yes, it's not some fancy new password to get you by to Gen Z whatever zone. No, it's the part of this retardation nation of of idiots, okay? Just for on the record to let you know what all that stands for. Missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersexual, asexual, and additional identities. Can't you just say, I'm confused, I don't know what the fuck I am? I mean, really? And besides, listen, if you don't want to be mocked because you're so fucking confused with all this ignorant shit, okay, maybe you should stay more in the shadows, and maybe you shouldn't put it right up front that I'm fucked up in the head and I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. Really? Well, my response to all that is, yeah. Anyway, I have to share this because this is just, he is so confused. It's not me. Look, I'm just reporting this. I am not involved in it at all. Believe me.
When the budget was released, I was shocked to find out that Prime Minister Carney is cutting $7 billion between Indigenous Services Canada and Crown Indigenous Relations. They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW, G2S, LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
There, you heard it. You heard it in Canada. The communists in Canada, Marky Carney, who said, we spend 75% of our budget goes to the United States, our defense budget. Maybe that's because we protect your retarded ass. And you've got members of Parliament, Lee Gazan, getting up here and said, oh my God, they cut $7 billion from Indigenous services in Canada and $0 to deal with, I'm so fucked up, I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. Maybe we should do that like a Brandon. I'm just saying, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I know. I got a response for that. Yes, I do. That's right. I got a response for that. A left-handed salute. God, man, that's fucked up, isn't it? Might as well be like an Eric Swalwell salute or something. Yeah, here's my response to that.
Oh, yo, fuck everything. Fuck the carpet. Fuck the color of this place. Fuck the lights. Fuck the air. Fuck stinking air. Fuck y'all. Oh, yo, fuck everything. Fuck the carpet. Fuck the color of this place. Fuck the lights. Fuck the air.
Really?
Fuck stinking air. Fuck y'all.
I mean, really, God bless them, man. I mean, if you're so fucked up, you're worried about IWG2SL, LGBTQIA. You know what's going to happen? They're going to start and use that fucking shit as a drunk test. Excuse me. It used to be. Can you repeat the alphabet backwards for me, please? Can you count backwards for me? Now they're saying, oh yeah, can you tell me what MMI WGSL2 QB2QQIA stands for? That's another one of them questions. Are you a retard? Yes. Vote yes. Yeah. Don't forget April 21st. The intelligence, the IQ test in Virginia. Yeah. Vote yes, I am a retard. Vote no, I am not. Okay. That's the whole basis of the bottom line. All right. I know a lot of people won't say that because it has the R word in it. Oh my God. Get over your all fucking selves. Really? Man, I am telling you. Uh-oh, there it is. Bibi Netanyahu says Iran ceasefire could end at any moment. Backs Trump's a blockade. Tehran blasts piracy. Yeah, I expect China to send some of their advanced ship killer missiles to Iran. Those miniature Shad drones that literally could flood the sky with the poor little motherfuckers, and you can't stop all of them. I mean, 25 kilometers is the range in the Gulf there, But let's be honest, this is no different than any other so-called peace deal, so-called negotiations in the Middle East, okay? Let's be clear that this is the same old, and the same old. This is nothing fucking new. This is the same game plan that Israel played on the Gaza Strip, and this is going to be the same game plan here, except they got Donald Trump up to his fucking eyeballs, a poor dead walking president, okay? Maybe that's another reason why Donald Trump is so hard on forcing all of this stuff. Because he is a dead man walking. That his pancreatic cancer is advancing and There's not a fucking thing anybody's gonna do about it until he starts taking what he said he should have a long time ago, and that is ivermectin, you dumb fuck. Ivermectin and fenbendazole. They attack the cancer's feeding system and starve it to death is what it does, okay? That's the magic. It's not that cancer is a parasite and all this other stuff is a parasite and blah, blah, blah. In fact, it may be even a higher level of a corrupted electromagnetic piece in your biomechanical system because you are a being of energy, which would make you a being of light. So, understand that, I guess. There are other people that will, go into that darkness to try to find the light. And you cannot go in darkness to find a light. That's what I would tell everybody. Anyway, so Iran's parliament speaker had been impressed by the American team as their refined and professionalism bargainer, a potential leader for the new Iran. However, look, there are basic things that a nation has to control for itself, and the United States and Israel in particular. And here's the truth is that I do not expect Israel to ever have peace with any of their neighbors, even once they absorb 50 to 75% of Lebanon, even after they absorb 2 million square miles of Syria, even after they literally take over the entire country of Jordan and parts of Saudi Arabia, okay? Egypt, the Suez Canal, the Nile River are all targets of Israel. I know many people don't quite understand that. They don't get it. They just look at this thing as this little as this war for Israel to stay alive. Well, I'll tell you what. Israel is a bunch of genocidal apartheid type scumbags, okay? We, the United States, should not be sending a dime to Israel. We should not be sending a dime to any Muslim country in the world, okay? In fact, I agree that we should, Donald Trump has a proposed ban on Muslim immigration into the United States of America. I believe that absolutely has to happen. I know we need to get the illegal immigrants out. We also need to get the Islamists and the jihadists out and understand that that is a big majority of Muslims. Okay, that's what I would say. And at the same time, I would say that the Jews also have to go. Now, the United States, if our country, if our government really gave a fuck, first thing we would be doing is we would be determining religious marriages, religious-based marriages, and marriage by law in America. Remember, we're not a bigamous state, okay? You can't have a half a dozen wives. And, understand, a lot of Jews have 2 or 3 wives. A lot of Muslims have 5 or 6 wives. And they buy children. Hey, listen, if you're buying a 9-year-old to marry her, to have sex with her, I personally don't give a fuck if you end up in a hole in the middle of the desert in Southwest United States. You will never be missed, and that child will be, well, saved is a good word. Yeah. We're almost getting to the break here in Rev Radio. And I'm going to have to make sure that somewhere along the way I don't talk over that break, or I catch back up to it, right? Yeah. Anyway, man, it's just been, let's just say it's been one of those weeks. One of those days I got to go make a big trip to the dump. Got to get not one, but 2 vehicles tags today. I'm hoping that I can use my VA benefits for finally, where I should get, I shouldn't have to pay for tags being a disabled veteran. I hope, man, we'll see. State of Virginia is on number 5 since last year. Attempt to take my VA bank account check. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. We'll be back on Rev Radio. I'm going to keep on rolling over on Rumble, Locals.com, Facebook, and YouTube. Come on down and join us, everybody. Get the straight truth. Not that mainstream media horse shit that you hear all around, man. I am telling you. It is, well, crazy, okay? Crazy, crazy, crazy. And meanwhile, speaking of crazy and the crazy train, Hunter Biden, that's right, Hunter Biden has left the USA, claiming he has $17 million in debt. That's right. I wonder if his wife and kids went with him. His stripper kid, or his stripper wife, or his stripper friend, I guess. And he's got a wife and some other kids. Granddaddy Joe. I mean, really, that's all really, funny stuff. I mean, if you want to get down to it. But Hunter Biden, the former CIA operative, Sonny, the bastard, the worst first son in history, so to speak, yes, has fled the United States of America. He now lives abroad. Now, when he says abroad, does that mean a chick or a woman, or does that mean another place? Because, Hunter Biden's, pretty cracked out there. I mean, really. God, I hope just like a Bert Burciaga, man. God bless that guy. Man, I remember Bert. Maybe this isn't a good story for the radio, but it really is. It's an educational. Don't take too many hits of fucking acid. Bert became burnt. Burciak. He took too many hits of acid. I don't know. 7 hits of 4-way or something. It was really crazy. He ended up tripping for 5 days. I may have talked about that before, but man, he the last time I heard. Anyway, he went in and out, and he went AWOL for a while, and then we had changed gunnery sergeants, and we had changed admin in the company office, and one day Gunny Nick come in and he says, "Hey," he says, "Anybody know about this guy Bert Burciaga?" He says that he never sent him his paycheck, his check. Yeah, we were rolling around. We were almost rolling around the floor laughing. I mean, yeah, we tried to kind of say we. I don't think we could have saved Bert, but we from his legal problems, but never from his mental problems. But yeah, so crazy idiocracy. Yeah, Bert. Yeah, and he was around for a few months, a month or so after that episode. But believe me, he was way out there. I hope he got better. I hope he got back to earth. But anyway, you never know. So Hunter Biden has left the country. I wonder, did he have to check out with anybody? I'm just asking. According to that filing, Biden was assessing which of his several other lawsuits would be worth continuing. Huh? Yeah. In November podcast interview with South African host Joshua Rubin, Biden said his $17 million in debt was connected to his legal fees. Look at the past 6 years of my life and the $17 million in debt that I'm in as relates to my legal fees. Well, then you shouldn't be a crackhead, Ponzi poster boy for the fucking CIA. Listen, if you would roll over, if Hunter Biden would roll the fuck over and say, look, I mean, I worked for the CIA. I was on the government payroll. I have immunity from all that stuff. I shouldn't be sued. I shouldn't lose any money. I shouldn't do anything. That's what fucking crackhead Hunter Biden should be doing. But no, man, I'm jetting. Don't forget, he had repeatedly last year, the year before, he had owed $5 million just for the fucking house he was in, and the attorney that had been helping Hunter Biden. Welcome back, Rev Radio. God bless you, man. I caught you right on time. This time anyway. He's talking about Hunter Biden. That's right. Hunter Biden's leaving the country, taking his $17 million in debt and saying, I'm sorry, I'm going to leave the debt. I'm just going to go away. I mean, I wonder how much of that is Abby Lowell, really. Biden was convicted in 2024 in Delaware of 3 felonies for purchasing a gun in 2018 when prosecutors said he lied on a federal form by claiming he was not illegally using or addicted to drugs. Of course, that was during the time of Hunter's laptop crack years. In fact, always remember there is 3 Hunter Biden laptops that are floating around out there. One of them the Russian drug dealers have. One of them was in a repair shop in Delaware, and there's another one that we don't know where the fuck it got to. Okay. So yeah. When you're on camera snorting and coking and smoking and having a good time, then it's kind of hard to say you weren't on drugs. Yeah. In September 2024, prosecutors accused him of failing to pay at least $1.4 million in income, federal taxes. He agreed to a plea to a misdemeanor and felony charges hours after jury selection was set to begin. Connecticut judge found Biden violated several ethical rules for lawyers, including engaging in conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation. And so Hunter Biden admitted to some, but not all of the alleged misconduct. The judge also cited the Washington State Department, so Connecticut party. Biden's Los Angeles home was affected by wildfires last January, making it unlivable for an extended period. I'm surprised he didn't get a PPP I'm burned the fuck up loan for that, I wonder if Gavin Newsom wasn't throwing money to buy some of his shit spreading. I'm just spreading the shit paintings. Who, in the truth come out, were all ghost painted by somebody else. Everybody knew Hunter Biden didn't have that level of skill. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden has said, I'm ready. We're going to rock and roll. Let's do it, man. Presidential Sonny Boy Fight Club. That's right. Now Hunter Biden, after leaving the country in a disgrace, has challenged Trump's brothers to a cage match. Everyone knows by now the first rule of a Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Hunter Biden couldn't help himself, the son of Joey. On April the 9th, publicly challenged Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump to a cage match. Man, I'm desperate for money. Yeah, anyway. The challenge emerged in a video post on Instagram. He said, I just got a call from Andrew Callaghan, Biden said in the video. He asked me to come out on Channel 5 Carnival Tour. Yeah, Carnival Tour at the end of this month. I think we start in Phoenix. Wait a minute, I thought he left the country. Me versus Eric and Don Trump Jr. I told him I'd do it 100% in if he can pull it off. Yeah, I wonder if Jill is going to have to tag team with Hunter because, you know, she always cleans up his mess. You know, Dr. Jill Biden, it's not a doctor. I mean, really. Fucking stupid. I mean, our government and our is run by stupid, ignorant, pedophile motherfuckers, okay? You know, let's not lie about it, all right? Will quantum safe cryptography slow Ethereum down? Performance trade-off explained. Ethereum's post-quantum initiative sends a clear message there is no immediate threat, yet delaying action is not an option. Yeah. Cryptocurrency. You know, it's going to be as dead as your fucking computer someday when you really need it. And you're going to say, I got to pull the page up so I can have a page in my brain. Instead of learning, instead of really understanding, instead of, you know, being, you know, kind of hands-on in the field. Everybody says, well, it's okay, I'll watch a YouTube video. Well, unless you got a book that may or may not be available one day. I'm just saying, okay? Meanwhile, Donald Trump says we're planning mass pardons of administration officials before leaving office. Yeah, but that's another, you know, that's another deep state, you know, punk suck-ass move, okay? Truth is, you know, Howard Lutnick and Susan Wiles, you know, look, they should be strung out to dry the same way the people that held up pedo Joe Biden should be strung out to fucking dry, okay? They shouldn't be covered, period. You know, end of story, all right? Meanwhile, the UK... Oh my God, the fucking United Kingdom is lost their fucking brains, okay? They gone full retarded. Hey, the Islamic State Pakistan province issued the call for an inaugural inaugural issue of its glossy, slickly produced magazine I guess, Time and Life magazine, since they went out of paper, didn't they go out of paper? They had to move to, the deep state, Pakistani state. So they call for the Muslims in the UK to murder Tommy Robinson. All right. I haven't heard anything about, any pushback from the government. Okay. So the other part of that is in the UK. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at this because in the UK they banned pretend stepsister porn months after actual Muslim incest protections were put in place. This is why I said earlier, bigamy and incest within the Muslim community as well, is horrible. And, children are raped on a fucking standard basis in Islam. And they will call it a regular Islamic marriage for a 9-year-old, okay? I call it a fucking death sentence with the 308. I don't really give a fuck right now. We cannot allow that fucking retarded shit in America. So the British banned step porn, where porn stars pretend to be related in a scripted format. Meanwhile, a bill earlier this year in the UK, this year is to ban first cousin marriages, was rejected. Ah, really? First cousins? All right. So you can marry your brother's kids, okay? That's insane, okay? But in the UK, they literally just banned people from watching porn that features step family members. Yet the government still refuses to ban actual cousin to cousin on cousin incest in Islamic communities. If you want to know why Somalis, maybe why there was a limited number and now they're all still purebred Somalis, maybe because they're incested bred Somalis. You really have to ask yourself, is Tampon Tim incest bred because of his lack of fucking brain power? But remember Tampon Tim in Minnesota, like most politicians, they have sold their soul. They have sold their morality so they can get a position. So people will idolize them. Okay. It is a super sad state of affairs that we have and we live with today. Okay. They did a study in Bradford, UK, where there's a high propensity of cousin marriages. They found first cousin babies had doubled the chance of a recessive gene disorder. Well, that just goes with, listen, you have to be retarded pretty much to inbred with your brother, sister, niece, nephew, whatever. It's true madness. It's true madness. So let's just say that digital IDs for babies and all of this, it's not going to make it. I'm just saying. The UK is splitting apart because of the, how should we say it? Because of government, okay? 92 million in the banned AI chips went from Super Micro to a little-known Chinese tech company. Well, imagine that. There was a shell game, and they found a way around some ban or some stoppage or not to send certain chips to China? Give me a fucking break, okay? Meanwhile, France's gig economy is built on, well, migrant labor. Or maybe it's better to say illegal immigrant labor. France's food delivery sector, you know, those guys riding around on scooters with little backpacks, predominantly African migrant workers, many of whom lack legal status, are effectively 99% of surveyed delivery drivers were not born in France. 2/3 of them, as I said before, are literally shouldn't be in the country. Okay, that's an ominous sign for any economy, because it's literally depending on illegal labor. It's depending on all but slave labor. Yeah. So 55% of riders came from West Africa, making it the largest group. Further, 17.4% are from North Africa, 4.6% from other African nations, meaning over 70% of all riders on buses and by how should we say it, transportation services. They had arrived in France after 2014, and 47% arrived in the last 5 years after 2021. So yeah, there you have it. Okay. The vast majority have no the right to work and are living illegally. 64% of the riders have no residence permit, and you know, I believe that they should go home, but they are not going to go home because they can still have a better life living illegally than they could ever have a prosperous any kind of a life in the shithole they came from. The other part of that is, well, you know, they're not very smart. They're not very educated, and their IQs are not high. I'll just say it. Okay. It's over. That's right. It's over. He's out. He's done. His goose is getting ready to cook again on the inside as Eric Swalwell, the congressman, has quit the California governor's race amid sexual assault allegations. More than a half a dozen women have come forward and said, "Man, he raped me when I was so drunk I couldn't sit up." Basically, okay, I was too drunk to consent. 15 former staffers sent him a letter and said, "Look, just get the fuck down. Just shut up, shut down, and get it over with." Anyway, the campaign collapsed after sexual assault allegations. Former staffer alleged harassment plus 2 assaults while she was intoxicated. 4 women have accused Swalwell of sexual misconduct. He denies all claims are false and politically motivated. Major Democrat allies withdrew their support and called for him to exit the race. That doesn't really help California, because that puts another idiot named Katie Porter as the leading Democrat candidate. Okay, I honestly don't even know if there will be a Democrat in the runoff race in California. Swalwell recently released a strong social media message strongly denying the allegations as flat false, confirming that he is not dropping out of the race, only to have the weight of all of it come. Now, what will happen about the charges and the allegations of his misconduct in the January 6th hearings. Him and, if you're not aware, Cassidy, what was her name? Cassidy? So Sean Cassidy or Shauna Cassidy? One of the aides to Trump that gave in and changed her testimony for Elizabeth Cheney and Eric Swalwell on the January 6th committee. Now, she is under investigation and soon to be under indictment for perjury during that time. Now, the thing is, the other people that were on that panel that asked her to suborn perjury should also be going down, which means Liz Cheney in particular, okay? U.S. Treasury and IRS proposed rules for 1% remittance tax on money sent to foreign countries. Mexico stands to lose $1.5 billion per year. The real question is, why? Why have we allowed such illegal immigration and such essentially this draining of American economic power, literally by illegal immigrants and others that came in to work full-time, permanent, whatever nowadays, to send money home forever. And that's not what these programs have been made for. People weren't supposed to come in temporary, permanently for 50 fucking years. And that's what we're seeing on a lot of these green card holders and a lot of these, permanent, whatever, residents that they're calling them. Remember, there's 50 million of those motherfuckers in the United States of America, okay? They have so masqueraded all of the numbers, not just the illegal immigrants, but all of those that are not eligible to vote in an election are being counted in the apportionment for power of that election. And that is wholly unconstitutional. As far as 1% transfer to remittances sent from the United States to recipients in foreign countries, I'm okay with 10%. Okay? A money order, cashier's check, other similar physical instrument for the remittance transfer provider. What about banks? Shouldn't banks be paying it too, sending their money back and forth? I mean, really, I'm just asking. I'm just saying, because it's literally an entire clown show of crazy out here. That now what we got going down. Okay. Oil jumps, stocks dump as peace talks fail and Hormuz blockade looms. West Texas Intermediate opened up at over 8% higher at $105 a barrel. The S&P was down 1% on a stronger dollar, and Bitcoin was down. Okay. American Fabianism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, Cloward and Piven stuff, okay? They want to, the American Association of University Professors is sponsoring an anti-ICE campaign. The campaign seeks to combat the Trump regime and its quote-unquote terrorism of the people. The problem is the people that are supposedly they're targeting are not supposed to be here. Is this a Jonathan Turley article, I believe? Yeah, this is authored by Jonathan Turley. jonathanturley.org. Essentially, college professors have essentially become an orthodoxy, a cult of higher religion of education, and they are so ideologically far to the left today that they do not see and understand exactly what they're doing. Yeah. So, Todd Wolfson, far left activist and its new president of the AAUP, says that that they pledged to make AAUP into a fighting organization for social change. After his selection, Wolfson also called Trump supporters fascists and demanded boycotts on Israel. I'm okay with boycotting Israel. I think we should also boycott fucking all Muslims in the Middle East, all fucking Islamic countries. And listen, if they want to go get their oil from the devils, then they can. But we in America shouldn't be stripping our country for those purposes. Okay. So Jonathan Turley says it's a little surprise to see the AAUP's sponsorship of this campaign. The campaign is funded by coefficient giving associated with liberal billionaire Dustin Moskowitz and his wife, Carrie Tuna. I wonder if Moskowitz carries tuna. Man. Anyway, they have been criticized as funding groups pushing to defund police and other radical agendas. These are foreign operators with loads of money. So anyway, the campaign seeks to organize to combat the Trump regime and its terrorism. Students and workers join together in action. They can force schools to stop funding normalizing ICE collaborators and take down the whole regime. In other words, we have to be bigots against the people that we are targeting. We have to be racist. We have to be discriminatory. We have to define them as Israel defines everybody else in the world, as the Torah and the Talmud, as those two books literally claim that they're supreme. I don't think, whether it's Young Democrat Socialists of Americas, whether it's the retarded communists of America, whether it's the sunrise, sunset in my brain movement, or the workplace justice lab at Rutgers University. Okay. Includes toolkit instructing students to create a crisis for university administration through an escalating campaign. Oh yeah. Yeah, that should easily be done against these left-wing fanatics, okay? Everybody should be pointing out how they are they are no different than the Confederates of the past, and the Confederate South has risen again. That's truth that nobody wants to point out to you. Hey, baby, what you doing back there, huh? God bless, man. Sometimes you just have to rearrange things. Whew, wow. It's going to be hot this week on the East Coast. If you're out and about, just be aware, okay? Be aware of literally, I believe, all but into the 90-degree temperatures this week here in the East, okay? 91 and 90 again on Friday. 84, 87 today and tomorrow. So if you're subject to the heat, be aware. be aware of all that. Also, the other part of that is as the leaves are trying to get out on the trees, the forest gets super dry without the shade over it. Okay, be aware of fire dangers out there also. But it's supposed to be roasting hot June weather. June weather in April. Okay, across the entire East Coast. Now remember, this isn't. I don't believe this is the same thing, but understand the Southwest United States is under a massive heat wave that's going to be there for months and months. Okay, it's going to be even more oppressive this year and the next few years. There's a it's a historical drought cycle. Okay, it literally destroyed the largest Indian village west of the Mississippi River. Their water supply went dry. It had been there for years, and they had literally built ponds and pools and 10,000 to 30,000 American Indians in the West had to literally disperse because of the water dried up in the middle of this extended drought cycle. Okay, remember, that doesn't mean that it's global warming. In fact, global warming is such a complete fraud that if you believe it, then you might as well be, you're halfway to transgendering yourself if you're diving deep into global warming and you're a climate change expert or a climate change anthropogenic global warming person. Yeah, forget it. You're just plain fucked in the head, all right? Meanwhile, Massachusetts is, that's right, the state of Massachusetts is... Hello, Moto. Motherfucker, I'm in my show, okay? You know that. Or you should know that, all right? Anyway, Massachusetts Dems advanced a bill to limit how far you can drive your car. Can you believe that? Yeah. Lawmaker. Asshole. Don't call back, please. No good deed goes unpunished. Always remember that, okay? But anyway, okay, where were we at here before I was rudely interrupted? MassDOT, or Mass Ass Hat, Senate Bill 2246 doesn't slap a hard cap on your daily commute, but it orders the Massachusetts Department of Transportation to set binding goals to reduce statewide vehicle miles traveled. It creates a new government council tasked with pushing people onto public transportation, whether they like it or not. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. Hey, I'll tell you what, Massachusetts, okay? I just wanted to tell the state and the government of Massachusetts, I will save you those fucking vehicle miles traveled, okay? If by some chance I have to go to Rhode Island or Maine or Connecticut, I will literally ensure that I drive 10 to 12 hours out of my fucking way so my tires don't grace the ground of a mass of two shits. Really? How, I'm the fucking nuts and crazies is crazies, okay? This isn't some fridge idea cooked up in isolation, this article says. Think about the 15-minute city concept and the fucking push for mobility. Listen, in America itself, in America, besides, listen, in people's, that's right, you tell them, baby. In people's daily travels, how far do they go? I mean, even once a year, poor shit's making my dog sick. What the fuck? Man, that is just plain fucked up, okay? Anyway, so they want to limit the amount of miles that somebody can drive, okay? Now, understand that, they're going to literally cut off and isolate communities. This is, y'all know, have towns and cities near you where the highway used to travel through it. People used to drive down, well, let's just say from Chicago to California and go down Route 66. This iconic fucking road travel. And then they put in the super fucking highway, okay? Gee, I wonder effing why. I wonder effing how. Is going to happen to all the fucking other communities in America. Just as the interstate bypassed every fucking Route 66. Once the superhighway was in, everybody said, fuck 66. We're going to 69 it all the way down the road. Sad. Devastating things for the fucking communities in the Midwest. And every place, and you know it as well as I do, every place they put the bypass in, all those fucking businesses die. And almost all of those businesses were local businesses that could not afford to buy another big giant piece of land, buy the new highway exit and put in their fucking store. They ain't in the $200 million mall up there on the hill. A Main Street America's bypassed, and what happens? It dies. This is what is happening. This is the long-term plan of destruction of isolation by literally limiting people's ability to move and move around and to go places and to do things. And our entire economies here in the United States are based on that, from fucking east to west. To deny it would be to deny being American. Of our freedom to travel, our freedom to move, our freedom to speak. And all these motherfuckers come in here, and now there's another debate going on. Dogs. Do you want your dog or do you want a Muslim? I run my fucking dog. First off, my dog usually isn't going to bite me in the back or stab me in the back. Isn't going to lie to me for fucking years and years. I'm going to know straight out where that dog sits. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, they say, we're so smart. We're so smart, we're retarded. That's right. That's the San Francisco new motto. Yes, they're going to use Waymo and Waze taxis. I'm sure it won't be long before Tesla gets in on the deal. They're going to use it to report potholes in the fucking road. It's not like they fucking can get to them to fix them right now as it is. It's just... And people are just plain fucking retarded today. They need a digital, they need an electric car to find the fucking pothole. Jesus Christ. Man, a day. President Trump now faces backlash from what? From a crash of Trump-linked cryptocurrency tokens. Listen, all of those things are a scam. They're all built on a person's unique popularity at a certain time in the history, and you know, it's a flash in the pan, okay? So yeah, there you have it. That's just the truth that nobody wants to say. The USS Boise, that's right, Boise, submarine overhaul after 11 years of work and $800 million spent on overhauling the submarine. Has been, let's just say, it's been abandoned because of the inability to complete a scheduled overhaul of the submarine. Yeah, that's pretty normal and stupid shit, right? Let's see. Russia and Ukraine exchange 350 POWs, 175 from each side, on Orthodox Easter truce. As that truce has held. Rare positive news after 4 years of brutal war. Yes, legendary comedian John Cleese blast the BBC over whiteness claims and pushes back against the Islamist tide in Britain. John Cleese fired off another load of unfiltered truth bombs exposing cultural erosion underway in the UK. Hey, could you see? There's a British what is that, citizenship question, okay, test, okay, about the British. And did you know there's a question about Islam on the motherfucker? I mean, about historic Britain. Has not a fucking thing to do with Muslims, except they had to fight them, kill them, and 600 years to destroy the backbone of the motherfuckers. Okay. Anyway, it is sheer crazy. Remember, the hypothetical idea that Islam is violent is just crazy talk. I mean, it is the religion of pieces. Yeah, pieces. Pieces of everybody's left in pieces. Remember, hypothetically. Ah, shit. Well, they're going to make me go to...
If the court of law in this...
that's what I had to say about it. These people are fucking crazies, okay? They have lost their ever-loving fucking mind. But remember, they never had it to start with. Because if you have obsessive compulsive disorder, if you have to pray to 6 times a day, point into the whatever, you're a cult. And remember, this is a political ideology, not a religion. If it's a religion, it's just a bunch of fucking slave-sucking sons of bitches. That's how I view it. Here's for your own ears to choose.
Hypothetically, you rape a girl and you murder her, and if the court of law in this world cannot prove, and then you truly repent, will Allah forgive you? And you say most probably Allah forgive you. And you're right. The second question, that is this not injustice to the girl who was raped and murdered? And I would say no. Because both the person who raped is undergoing a test in this world, the person who was raped also is undergoing a test. And let me explain to you that Allah has given guidelines to the women that they should dress up modestly, they should cover their complete body, except.
Yeah, did you hear what this fucking clown said? He says it's not just a test for the woman. It's a test for the rapist. And the rapist also failed the test, but the test they get to go to play the island, except that the woman is supposed to be dressed modestly. And remember, modestly in fucking Islam is from head to toe in a fucking garbage bag, okay? Because it is a garbage bag religion.
Those parts can be seen that is the face. Now, if after giving all this guidance, and hypothetically, if that girl doesn't dress up modestly, she is dressed up immorally, which people get excited and the rape is done, who's to blame?
Who's to blame? Not the Muslim man. No, it's not the Muslim man. He's got full of self-control, dumb sucking shit. Yeah. And this is just sorry fucking excuses for sorry fucking scumbags of the fucking history of the fucking world and the planet that we live on. Meanwhile, John Cleese is pointing out, he says, did you hear what these dumb motherfuckers said? The BBC announced the UK educational system wasn't built for black children, and the problem is that it was built for whiteness. Oh my God! It was built for whiteness? You've got to be fucking kidding me. These people, as I said, these motherfuckers have lost their ever-loving fucking mind. Listen, I have to look around, make sure nobody around here is listening, because I hear this Looney Tune, disassociated with reality shit every day from in person, from people that are here in this household. I hear that. I hear this fucking insanity. The insanity of what they believe it so. They believe it so clearly that they believe it so clearly. Oh, they did it again. Man, both of those were linked back to X, okay?
Built for black children.
I mean, literally, this is this retarded racism that we're experiencing today. It's just fucking stupid. Now, these people claim to be educated. These are the same people that claim that fucking chicks with dicks are women. They're not. You're just a bunch of deluded, dumb motherfuckers. You choose to believe a psychological construct that is not real.
This system wasn't built for black children. It's a system that is essentially built on a culture of whiteness. So by nature, our education system is rooted in systemic racism.
And what does that mean when you say a culture of whiteness? Because there'll be people listening to this show that would say, school is school. Any child of any race can go into the schooling system. I'm a black person, I did well in school. What does whiteness mean when it comes to education?
Our schools are generally very multicultural now. 1 in 3 children are, considered from an ethnic minority background.
And is that in London specifically, or
that's
the UK?
Yeah.
So she's saying when she's saying this, she is not giving you particular attributes of, you're talking about fucking retarded Muslim cultural fucking scumbags that will be hopelessly. You will not be able to educate any of these motherfuckers to a point where they will essentially be able to, or they will choose voluntarily to integrate into British society. That is not why they're there to start with.
The UK, so we're really seeing a
They're
lot of
fucking invaders,
mixed,
you dumb
racially diverse classes.
They're invaders.
However, the curriculum,
the
system that we see reflects a certain type of person, and that is white, cis, straight. Everybody else.
Everybody else is, listen, according to this woman, white, cis, and straight is bad. Okay? You got a bunch of fucking ingrateful fucking motherfuckers that have immigrated to the UK, and now they have these fucking cows that are telling the other cows that, oh my God. Fucking sons of bitches. Man, listen, if you don't understand that you are being colonized by these motherfuckers that have control of the airwaves and control of the systems and control of the government. If every fucking God blessed person on this planet doesn't know that by now, yeah. It's just a basic fact. If you don't believe in conspiracies at this point, you're just retarded. You're hopelessly retarded. In fact, you're still at the fountain in the square, cleaning your ass with the water from the fountain. Okay, that's the status of the agenda of these dumb fucking ignorant cocksuckers. Drives me fucking mad. I'm not gonna lie. Between that and the ringing in my ears and aggravation of life and everything else, it's like, listen, I have not one fucking nerve to pluck yet. So please, just stay the fuck back. I guess is what I would say. Pakistan added to the growing list that are stockpiling the Shahad-style attack drones, which, in all honesty, have proven not to be so fucking effective. Now, if you want to put a jet engine on that, where you can make it go a lot faster, yeah, that would be better. The mayor of London stand, the retarded Sadiq Khan, wants a government social disinformation unit. Accuses platforms of waging war on the Capitol while ignoring exploding crime and violence under his watch. Listen, that motherfucker should be executed. Okay. What they have done to London in the past whatever years is the same thing they're doing to the rest of the country. And if you don't know that by now, that's your fucking stupidity. If you don't go and look at the number of growing machete attacks in New York, then you're just fooling yourself because you just don't want to know. Okay? If you don't want to know and understand about the rising violence in America, that's your fucking problem. That's your prerogative. Okay? But when the guy next to you has to pull out a gun and shoot the mass murdering motherfucker, and you're like, oh my God, then you should be saying thank you. If you see somebody with a gun on their side, you should say thank you. Because I know it takes a good guy with a gun to put a fucking scumbag with a gun down. Okay? Murder in, where was it? Chick-fil-A? Another mass shooting in Chick-fil-A. I don't even know where it was. Washington, Chicago. I mean, who knows? I mean, if you want to know how bad it is in Chicago, Illinois, just go to heyjackass.com. That's right, heyjackass.com, and they'll give you the shooting stats for Chicago for the year. April to date, 7 shot and killed, 57 shot and wounded, total 64. 10 homicides total, okay? I mean, really, only 10 homicides? I mean, I guess that's a malicious wounding if they didn't die, but yeah. Year to date, only 100 people have been shot and killed in Chicago. 349 wounded, 449 total shot, with 112 homicides. Rate is 5 hours and 34 minutes. Somebody is shot in Chicago. A person is murdered every 21 hours and 38 minutes in Chicago. Yes, they also keep stats on how many times these dumb sons of bitches have shot themselves in their junk. Yeah. 11 year to date, 11 people have shot themselves in the ass. I don't know what kind of report that is and as far as the police go, but yeah. Anyway, so remember that madness is out there. The idiots are out there. The uneducated people are, well, they're around everywhere. Okay. Donald Trump had a victory the other day where a federal judge was rebuked by an appeals court and said, "What the fuck are you talking about, Willis?" Yes, they shut down Trump's ballroom. And of course, whether you know it or not, under the ballroom is supposed to be some kind of bunker. Oh, gee. Oh, my. Anyway, so Donald Trump's ballroom is back under construction. And that is going down. Halfway into fiscal year 2026, the deficit is, well, is 11% lower than in 2025, but it's about to get much worse. The budget deficit remains a ticking time bomb. First, the good news: the federal government reported a deficit rose $4 billion to 2% to 164.1 billion. Oh, is that all? Well, that's supposed to be really good news. I don't know about you, but anybody that's that fucking deep in debt, month after month after month, is fucked. Okay, there's no way that they will ever do it. All right, they will ever be able to hold water, so to speak. Okay. We got it's break. It's like that time. Well, imagine that. Thanks everybody. Goodbye, Rev Radio. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Good day. Good luck, Revolution Radio. So yeah, that's out of the way. Let's see what other madness that we got going on. Let's see. U.S. intelligence shows China taking. Oh yeah, we talked about a lot of that stuff. We talked about the retarded immigration, whatever. Lindsey Graham calls for more war. Of course, right? Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I think we covered pretty much everything. Marjorie Taylor Greene predicts a GOP bloodbath in November. Yeah. Polymarket's $269 million question: did the U.S. put troops on the ground in Iran? There was a bet when they would do that, and if it has happened, somebody needs to get some money. If it hasn't happened, well, the bet's open yet. Okay. Let's see. Justin Bieber at Coachella. That's right. Hey, I just wanted to ask: do you think any of these fucking idiots have figured out yet that Burning Man, okay, and Coachella, all right, are nothing but Jeffrey Epstein P. Diddy freak shows in the desert? I'm just asking because, you know, it just does seem that Coachella and Jeffrey Epstein and Burning Man, you know, are all part of this same kind of demonic force, maybe is a good description, okay? I just wanted to point that out there, but yeah, just think about that. Let's see. 92 million in banned chips. Yeah, we talked about that. Oliver Anthony, I had a small clip from him. I'm not going to play it now, but pretty much says, Hollywood is demonic, and that people have gotten to be, their egos and everything has gotten to be so big that, they aren't real people. They're things. So I guess that's a good description of it today. Yeah. Your entire browsing history, I'm going to save that one for tomorrow. And the missing nuclear guy. I'll move those to tomorrow's news. And we're going to get out of here. Take care, everybody. Be safe and be well. God bless. Good day. And good luck.